Hello my fellow Welt lovers. Okay, buckle up because Hoyo is finally listening and patch 3.6 beta v4 is not just a calm little numbers adjustment phase. Nah, they are out here dropping curveballs and basically rewriting how some of these characters function. I swear, every time I think we're safe to relax between phases, they slap us with something spicy, and this time Evernight and Dhpt are sitting in the spotlight with changes that are not just numbers on a spreadsheet, but actual identity level adjustments. And you know me, I'm not calm about it. Topping up in Genshin or Star Rail can get expensive, and let's be honest, we've all seen those in-game prices and wished they were just a bit lower. Well, that's exactly what LD Shop is here for. This is LD Shop, the official top-up platform developed by the LD Player Emulator Group. It lets you top up your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Star Rail at huge discounts, up to 23% off or more. And yeah, it's super easy to use. All you need is your server and UID, and your top-up will show up in-game within just a few minutes. It's safe, reliable, and used by thousands of players. You can even compare prices, for example, something like the Supply Pass or a 6480 Stellar Jade Bundle. It's way cheaper here than in-game. If you register using my link, you'll get a 15% off coupon and an extra 5% off coupon, which can save you up to $50 on your first top-ups. Plus, LD Shop gives you the same first top-up bonus you get in-game, so you're not missing out on anything. And if you're planning to spend more, here's a bonus. If you spend over $80, you'll unlock VIP status, which gives you a free supply pass and more perks. So if you're looking to save while still getting everything you normally would in-game, just use the link in the description and get Cerydra while saving more. Let's start with Evernight because, oh boy, she is getting the glow-up treatment. Her skill buff now scales with 30% of her crit damage stat. Sounds small? It's not. If your Evernight is cracked out with 200% plus crit damage, that 30% scaling suddenly turns into free real estate for your team's damage. This is not just Evernight looks better on paper. This is Evernight actually fits into real teams now. And yes, I am side-eyeing Castorice mains right now. You guys just won the lottery. Because here's the thing, Hoyoverse clearly doesn't want Evernight to just be another Anaxa, another hypercarry monster that trivializes content and makes everyone else irrelevant. They're threading the needle here. They want her to be a strong sub-DPS who buffs your team, slots beautifully next to Cass, but also has enough juice to carry if you're a weirdo who wants to build her full hyper. Her ULT rework proves this. Vulnerability went from 24% to 30%, team damage amp. Love that for us. But her self-damage buff dropped from 100% to 60%. Now, you're not blowing yourself up just for numbers. You're actually sustaining and balancing. It's smart. It keeps her powerful, but not busted. And don't even get me started on that talent change. Every ability drains 5% HP, and then bam, she gets a 15% crit damage buff for 2 turns. That's not a drawback, that's a cheat code. That little HP drain is hilarious because it's basically custom-coded for Castorice. You know when Cass ULT is sitting at like 90% charge and you're stuck deciding, do I waste a big drain to top this off? Well, Evernight just solved that. Tiny drain, little energy top up, everyone wins. Tell me that's not Hoyoverse literally listening to our complaints and baking in QL synergy. So the summary is easy. If your Evernight has more than 200% crit damage, she's now buffing harder than before. She's a better sub-DPS, her DPS stays about the same or slightly better, and she's giving your team that smooth energy flow without being busted. And honestly, that's exactly what they want. She's not an Axa, but she's not deadweight either. She's in this sweet spot where she feels flexible, valuable, and fun. But let's pivot to Dhpt, because the glow-up here is wild. First off, they straight up buffed base attack from 485 to 582. That's not a buff. That's a transformation. But then they dropped defense from 849 to 776. So less wall, more punch. And at first you're like, wait, why would they do that? And then you realize their shield from ULT also got buffed, so survivability is still there, but now you're actually encouraged to play aggressive. They're leaning into the role of, I protect you, but I also smack hard. And I kinda love that. The ULT cost going from 140 down to 135 looks small on paper, but we all know energy economy is life or death in this game. That's smoother rotations, less RNG frustration, and more ULT uptime. You combine that with a trace swap, goodbye HP, hello +5 speed, and it suddenly clicks. Dhpt isn't supposed to be your chunky, immovable object anymore. They're speeding up, they're getting in more turns, they're pumping more energy into the cycle. And did I mention bond-made attacks give 6 energy now instead of 5? Yeah, that's not just QL. That's Dhpt is now glued to your team rotations like peanut butter on bread. Now, can we just laugh about how beta used to work? Remember when V3 was the big scary patch where everything got shaken up and V4 was just polish? Like 1 or 2 tiny stat tweaks, maybe a passive adjustment, nothing wild. Yeah, those days are gone. V4 is the new chaos patch. You cannot sleep on V4 anymore because here we are with Evernight and Dhpt both getting core identity shifts. And the wildest part? V5 is still on the way. If this is what V4 looks like, imagine the final roller coaster drop. And look, let's just address the rerun speculation real quick, because I know you guys are thinking about it. With these buffs, Evernight suddenly looks way more tempting to pull, especially if Castorice is in your sights. And Hoyoverse knows exactly what they're doing. Buffing a unit right before a banner drop? Classic Hoyo bait. They're dangling Evernight like, hey, remember me? I'm cracked now. Don't you want me for your cast comp? And the answer is yes. Yes, I do. Dhpt, on the other hand, is shaping up to be that sleeper unit that people will regret skipping. With these changes, they're not just utility, they're core team glue. You'll see them pop up in clears and be like, wait, why does this look so smooth? And then you'll remember you skipped them.
Pain.
And this is where I gotta give Hoyoverse credit. For once, it feels like they're actually learning from past mistakes. They're not giving us another Anaxa-level monster that warps the meta, but they're also not dropping another mid-tier nobody that sits in your roster collecting dust. They're walking that tightrope, giving us power and synergy without breaking the game. And I can't lie, I'm excited. Because this is the kind of patch that makes the theory crafting side of the community go absolutely feral. Like, you can already hear the whales rubbing their hands together, planning Evernight Castorus rotations, and the F2PS are sweating, trying to figure out if they should skip or save. It's chaos, and I live for it. And let's be real, this all ties into a bigger trend we've been seeing lately. Hoyoverse slowly shifting characters toward more defined niches instead of just copy-paste hypercarries. They're clearly testing waters with units like Evernight, who's now half hypercarry, half Castorus ride or die, and Dhpt, who feels like they're moving away from a tank stereotype into a speedy enabler role. It's messy, it's experimental, but honestly, I'd rather have this kind of wild ride than a boring stat stick meta where only 2 characters matter. The spice is what keeps Star Rail fun, and these kinds of buffs show Hoyo is not afraid to shake things up, even in V4. So here's my takeaway. Evernight is cooking. Dhpt is cooking. V4 is no longer a quiet patch, it's the danger zone. And V5 is still waiting in the wings to potentially break everything we thought we knew. Hoyo is finally listening, and for once, it feels like the changes are designed to actually make the game healthier and more fun. But hey, that's just me screaming into the void as usual. What do you guys think? Are you pulling Evernight now that she's got that Castorice synergy? Are you sold on Dhpt's Speed Demon rework? Or are you holding on to your jades, praying for future banners? Let me know, because the meta discourse is about to get wild, and I cannot wait to see the salt and hype explode.